what is the biggest thing that's keeping you stuck? Why do you feel discontent despite achieving what you thought you needed? Something's missing. You've tried other solutions, but nothing has truly fixed your problem, up until now. Download the 3 reasons you're feeling discontent and how to fix it fast at www.jedbrotherson.com and quickly create a clear roadmap that helps you find peace, clarity, and fulfillment. Welcome to the Pulverizing the Patterns podcast, where Jed Brotherson takes you on a journey to confront the roots of your discontent and emerge significant. Each week, we dive deep into themes like overcoming harmful family dynamics, standing up for yourself with courage, speaking out against injustice, and cultivating healthy, authentic relationships. Be sure you visit our website at www.pulverizingthepatterns.com. While you're there, subscribe to us via your favorite network. Now, get ready for empowering stories, expert insights, and actionable strategies that help you break free from negative patterns and create a life rooted in self-respect, clarity, and connection.
Welcome back to the show, Pulverizing the Patterns. Today I'm speaking with someone who's helping people completely reshape their lives emotionally, mentally, and even financially. She's the creator of the Abundance Portal and a coach focused on helping people step into the lives they truly love. Scarlett Stanhope, welcome. Glad to have you here.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm really excited for our conversation today.
Me too. Let's start with your journey. What led you to coaching?
Yeah, so it really just fell into my lap seemingly out of the blue. Way back in 2020, I graduated with my bachelor's degree in business management, accounting, and finance. And that was really like what I had been focusing on up until that point, very much focused on being successful, very much like a type A high achiever, doing everything right, in the money world, but also in the life world. I was also working really hard as a restaurant manager. I had been managing restaurants for years, and on paper, my life looked very successful. I had lots of money in savings, had a fancy job title, was making good money, had a 3.9 GPA, and yet at the same time, I was very unfulfilled and was honestly going down a pretty harsh downward spiral and eventually hit a hard rock bottom where it was so confusing to me. I'm doing everything right that I should be doing according to society and what I thought success was. And yet, why do I feel so empty? And why does my life feel so meaningless? What am I doing wrong? And that's really when I started my own personal growth journey. And so by the time I did graduate with my bachelor's degree, it was about 1 month later that I got my first coaching certification just because I thought it would be a good skill to have. And then by the end of my training, I was like, okay, this is what I'm doing. And I just dove all in on my coaching business.
That sounds so awesome. And so I was following your posts and you mentioned that there's just so many things that's been changing for you in the last couple of years. So I'm assuming that those are all the good things that's happened with your coaching business. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's definitely been a journey. I have been in business for 5 years now, and I believe that running a business, especially something like coaching, healing, is such a powerful catalyst for personal growth because in order to run a successful business, to put yourself out there, to offer something that's intangible and the service is literally you and your value that you can deliver, you have to grow in so many ways in order to successfully do that. So I've been going through a ton of personal growth, owning my own self-worth, really stepping into my value, my belief, really cultivating my offer and bringing that forward to people in a confident way. And everything that I've learned along my journey, I then get to share with my clients as well, which is really the fun part and the thing that I enjoy because it's a huge personal growth journey for everybody who chooses to walk this coaching path.
For sure. I know that I've had the same struggle that you're talking about, making the intangible offer and connecting out with self-worth. And so I understand that writing has played a big role in the healing work that you do. And I find that so interesting. Can you tell us more about how writing helps overcome some of these belief patterns?
Yeah. So in my primary program that I offer, Empowered Abundance, which helps my clients really transform their relationship with money, what we're doing is we're healing your relationship with money from the inside out. So because your relationship with money ties into every aspect of your life, and it ties so much into your business. It ties into your self-worth. It ties into fear, scarcity, lack, not enoughness. And all of that can bleed into your ability to, one, create your best life, but also to pursue your business and make money while doing it. And so one of the tools that I use in Empowered Abundance is a coaching modality called story work, where we're taking these subconscious stories or beliefs that we have about ourselves and about the world, and we're getting them out of your head and we're getting them on paper. We're basically unearthing these subconscious patterns that are creating your current reality, especially your beliefs around money and your worthiness and your deservingness, and getting them on paper and working with these stories in a way where we can rewrite them to step more into an energy and a belief rooted in abundance.
That sounds amazing. Now, is this something that anybody can do, or do they need to have experience from as a writer, or you guide them through this?
Yeah, I would say there's different ways that you can do it depending on where you're at. I think sitting down and doing it with a coach who's trained in this modality is a really, really powerful experience and brings another layer to it. It's a little different than just journaling because, lots of people journal, but it doesn't quite do anything to shift something. But I believe that if you're just starting off and you're like, I just need something to build some momentum here to get the ball rolling, taking these thoughts, these beliefs that are under the surface or just kind of running around in your head, and even getting them on paper is the first step. And that can already do a lot for you, because otherwise it's just like running on autopilot all the time, and you might not even realize these subconscious beliefs, the stories that you just think are normal. You're like, yes, of course this is true, when reality is like, this is just a story that you're telling yourself. And when you write it down on paper, it'll be a little easier for you, even on your own, to start to see it clearly.
Right. I kind of have it's a little bit of a story and a question. So, recently I started reading my grandmother's journal, and it came into, this isn't something that I would have thought I would have done like a year ago. I can tell you that I would have just thought that sounded so boring to me that I would never read it. And, so long story short, I start reading this thing, and I'm looking for a couple of things, and I didn't realize what I was going to find, but I ended up finding one day, there's a journal entry that says, this person borrowed my grandpa's truck for a couple of days. Now my grandpa's outside fixing the truck because every time that person borrows the truck, it needs a lot of work. And then I traded my wife cars for a couple of days. And she went down to Las Vegas for an event. And when she came back, and I'm driving my car, and it did a little thing. It made a little wobble as I'm driving it. And I was like, oh man, Amy borrowed the car for a couple of days. Now it's going to need some work. And I thought, oh my God, that came right out of my grandma's journal, she passed away when I was 2. And it really connected for me, this generational traumas kind of thing. And so like if I'm journaling, as you're talking about journaling and how story work is better than journaling, what I kept thinking about is it's so hard for us to journal and then pick up on our own patterns, because I'm reading my grandmother's journal, and it took me quite a little while to start picking up the pattern. And then I could see it. And then I'm like, oh, okay, now I can use this as a hack to help me see some of my patterns and break through these. How does what you do, what I see it is like, with your guidance, you would be able to help people like know what they're actually digging for as they're journaling, I guess, to make this faster. Is there a way you can help make more sense of that?
Yeah, totally, totally. And I think this really just talks about the value of coaching in general and why coaching is such a up and coming thing nowadays is because having a coach is really valuable because the purpose of a coach is to show you what is currently going on for you. It's basically a mirror of yourself because it's easy to get lost in the sauce of your own life and just be kind of on autopilot default, not recognize that, some things could be shifted or different. I mean, for example, back when I was in my rock bottom, I was totally depressed and suicidal and at the same time didn't even realize that something was wrong. Even though, like, looking back now, it's very obvious, like, oh, I was depressed and suicidal, and obviously something was wrong. But because I was in it, it just felt normal. I was like, right, this is just what life is like. This is the way it is because here it is. And so we can get so sucked into our own reality and just take it as a blank check and just be like, yeah, this is it. This is life. But having a conversation with somebody where they can very accurately reflect to you what you are saying, what your beliefs are under the surface, and then to question, well, where does this come from? Is this inherently accurate or true? And then kind of challenge these beliefs and give you a new and different perspective. Like that work is so powerful and can really change your life. And you can build the practice and the skill set to start to do this on your own by bringing a lot of self-awareness to what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what's coming through. But it does take a lot of practice. And even then, like I do that for myself all the time. I coach myself daily, but still when I'm having a conversation or working with a coach, I'm just able to see new perspectives that I couldn't see before.
Right. No, that sounds... So you're making some things tie together for me, and it's caused me to think a little bit rather than so man, that sounds so great. So as you're helping people in this amazing way, is this kind of how you created the Abundance Portal?
Yeah, so the Abundance Portal is a mini series that I have done before that teaches people the steps to step into abundance. But really, all of that has tied into my signature program, which is called Empowered Abundance. And all of that has come from just growing my business over the past 5 years. So it was about 4 years ago that I created Empowered Abundance. And it started off just as having a conversation with a friend who was also a coach, who was feeling really stressed about money, who wanted to go full-time in her coaching business, but felt like even with her steady 9-to-5 job, she was still living paycheck to paycheck. No matter how much money she made, it never felt like it was enough. And she couldn't imagine how she could ever be fully financially supported by her business and the work that she loved when she felt like she couldn't even be financially supported by her current steady paycheck. And so from there, I recognized, oh, I actually have a bunch of skills to help you with this. And that's when I started this work that I do now. And from there, the program has grown over the past 4 years into what it is today, which is really a combination of a lot of different coaching techniques to do all of this inner work that we've been talking about, but also tangible money management techniques as well, and learning to be in control of your money, to track and manage and use your money strategically. So I love to combine all of these tools together to really give people a total transformation of their relationship with money.
That's amazing. So do you think helping this friend, if I take your mind back just a minute, as you were back in that stage of starting out, what I'm thinking about is just as this opportunity helped you step out of and utilize your skill set to help someone else, and in so answering the universe's call is just snowballed into what you love to do.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. And it's really funny because I had already been in business for a year at that point in my coaching business. And I was kind of floundering around and was unsure of what I was focusing on. And I had like picked a niche and was more focused on personal growth and personal development and learning to build self-trust, self-love, self-confidence, because that was a huge part of my own personal growth journey. And if anything, I was kind of deterred from money because it felt too obvious to me that I should be a money coach because I had a background in business management, accounting, and finance. And I also used to work for a budgeting company that did budgeting. And so I was like, nope, screw all this. I'm just going to focus on life coaching and like starting from center and owning your spark. But then when I had this conversation with this person, I realized, wow, this is what's needed. This is what's demanded. Like, there's a lot of people struggling with this in the world. And also, this is an opportunity for me to bring more of my skill sets to the table. And that's really what I've done is from that moment, since then, for the next 4 years, I've figured out how can I include more of my skills in this one offer and just make it as powerful and unique and transformative as possible.
That's amazing. So as you built this financial program, I mean, and we're talking about emotional healing as well, but let's see, could you elaborate on how specifically, like, you're healing self-worth, and that's all emotions. So how do you blend the emotional healing with how do you help the client link it so that with practical money guidance?
Yeah. And it's so much fun because I believe we really do need both to get the total transformation and to really step into abundance and create your best, most abundant life. And I find that that's often what's missing for different money manifestation programs. It's either all mindset and it's only focusing on the energetics and the internal, or it's all like strategy and investing and, and it's all like masculine. And so really, I find that when we bring both of these together, that's when you're getting the complete picture, because you really do need both in order to actually step into your abundance and create your most abundant life. And so the program, the way that I've set it up is the first month of the program, we are just doing the internal work and we're developing deep self-awareness. So I teach my clients how to recognize their current relationship with money, their patterns around money. We uncover the scarcity seeds, the scarce-based beliefs you have around money, the scarcity stories, the scarcity selves, and the scarcity shadows. And these are all the components that are keeping you in your current reality. And so we uncover all of these and we start to shift them. We start to clear them out. And I really give my clients the tools to continue to be able to do this process on their own, to start to notice, this is what's keeping me stuck. This is what's showing up for me. And here's how I can start to work with these things and shift them and change them and break free from them instead of just having this default like autopilot patterning that's controlling and dictating my life. So that's month 1. And it's really important that we start there because after that, that's when we start to learn to manage your money. And sometimes there can be a lot of fear and stress around that. And so that's why we do all the internal work first, so you can feel ready to do the tangible work. You can feel confident because we've already uncovered a lot of your fear, a lot of your doubt, and brought that to the surface and already started to heal it. So now you feel ready to do the work. And the power that comes from learning to manage your money and see it very clearly in the way that I teach my clients by building a financial blueprint where you can see exactly what's happening with your money, how much is coming in, where it's going. What happens is it gives you control over your life. You can see really clearly, these are the choices that I'm making. This is what I'm prioritizing. This is what I'm choosing. This is the life that I'm creating every single day with how I choose to spend my money. These are the beliefs that are being played out and creating and manifesting this life through how I'm using my money. So we take the money from an unconscious process that just is happening seemingly to you, and we put the control and power back in your hands. And we say, okay, this is what's happening. This is your life on paper, and you're the one in control of it. So how are you going to shift this, adjust this, change this to be in alignment with your vision and with the life that that you want to live and in alignment with your most abundant self. And that's where it becomes powerful to then also be the one in control of your money so that you can really confidently create your best life.
Yeah. I know this is such amazing information. Like I just want to go into, as you're talking about helping people go into what they're aligned with. Like maybe if I use a past story for myself again, like I know when I was beginning, I was on an event with a coach, and we broke out into this, it's an area where I now had to share with a class. And I mean, seemingly simple thing, just speak in front of the group. And I felt like literally like that Eminem song, like open your mouth and the words won't come out. I'd never had that happen to me before. And because I'm a very talkative, I mean, if people are in front of me, I can talk all day. So it was just so weird to me that I couldn't speak. And as I dove into that and overcame that, can you help people understand like what kind of a block that might be, and how, like, as you're talking about all the support, and I can pick that out now, but back then I didn't understand what I needed. I didn't understand the support that I needed and what exactly was going on. So you've perfectly outlined how your support helps people through that. Could you just kind of outline that a little bit more specific for me?
Yeah. I believe that there are a few specific techniques, tools that really help in pretty much any situation. Or like with this specific example of having this block come up, having this fear show up and being like, okay, I'm here. I have this opportunity to expand and kind of step even more into my vision and make this next level vision a reality. But something here is holding me back or stopping me. And I think the few things that I would narrow this down to, and this is also what I teach in the program, are seeds, stories, and selves. And so the seed is the belief or the thought that has been ingrained at a deep level. And these different beliefs that we have about ourselves and about the world impact the way that we show up in our world. And so there's different beliefs under the surface that create our whole reality. Those are like our core foundational beliefs. And then those beliefs are created from stories. Stories are moments in time in our childhood where something happens where we form a belief. Like, for example, for lots of stories that I hear from my clients is we didn't have a lot of money growing up. And I remember being in a store and being told, like, you can't have those nice jeans that everybody has that are going to make you seem popular because we can't afford it. And so small moments or big moments happen, especially during our childhood, where we learn something about ourselves. Like, I could have taken that moment and been like, I'm not worthy of being popular. I'm not deserving of worth spending money on. Like, I could make that moment mean so many things about me, and that instills the belief, the seed. And so we have to uncover the stories so that we can uncover the seeds, the beliefs, and change them, because those beliefs and those stories are not inherently accurate. The other piece that's really important here too, and the third piece, and I use this all the time in my coaching, is selves. When the stories happen and the seeds are implanted, selves are created. And these are different subconscious parts of ourself that are here to protect us, to support us, and to serve us in different ways. So anytime when we are trying to do something new, do something different, what's happening is we're expanding our comfort zone. We have to expand our comfort zone to step into our vision. We have to expand beyond the current story, the current beliefs, in order to make that a reality. And what happens is these selves come up to protect us, to hold us back from coming out of our comfort zone so that we don't die. And so if we go back to your example of speaking on stage, there could be a story of like, when I speak up, I get punished, or when I speak up, I get judged. And that's the seed. And then being in that scenario, or it could be so many other things. It's like, when I'm successful, then everybody hates me. Could be so many things. And then the selves come up. And then you have this like shy, introverted, protective self that comes up to the surface and is like, nope, we're not going to let you speak because we need to protect you and make sure you don't whatever. So that's really like the whole subconscious process in a very short nutshell that I teach my clients.
I think that's amazing. Like, I love the way you were able to compact that thing. What are some other common blocks that are like, man, I mean, that's just one that I had that one, the fears. What are some other common blocks that you see that you've helped people overcome?
Yeah, I would say the 3 common scarcity seeds that I believe underpin pretty much everything in some way or another. And it can result in different ways and show up in different ways, but really it comes down to not enoughness, worthiness, and starving artist syndrome. Those are my 3 scarcity seeds. So not enoughness is like, there's not enough for me. There's not enough in the world. There's not enough attention. There's not enough time. There's not enough money. There's not enough love. There's not enough affection. Like, there's not enough. There's a limit. There's a lack. Worthiness is, I'm not enough. I'm not worthy. I'm not deserving. I'm not qualified. I'm not good enough, right? And that can hold you back in so many ways, and that can show up in so many ways. And then what I like to call starving artist syndrome is basically the belief of either or. Either I can be happy and enjoy my life and be fulfilled, but be broke, or I can have tons of money and hate my life and be miserable. And it's this idea that we really can't have it all, that we have to choose between being responsible and enjoying our lives, being financially stable, or being a starving artist. And those are really the key 3 that I see that can kind of like show up no matter what the actual pattern is. It all comes down to these 3 primary scarcity seeds.
Yeah, thank you for that. So do you find that healing trauma and transforming these money beliefs kind of have to go hand in hand?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Like, any gunk that you have around yourself shows up in your money. Your money is just, and this ties back to what we were talking about earlier with like a coaching relationship. Like, what's so powerful about coaching is it's a mirror, it's a reflection, it's a relationship. And this happens all the time in our lives when we're in relationship with any other human, whether it's a friendship, a partnership, a family member, a romantic relationship. Like, when you're in a relationship, it's bringing gunk to the surface. It's a reflection of you. So whatever's like triggering you in those relationships is a reflection of what needs to be healed within you. But when you work with money, your money is a perfect mirror of you. Whatever your relationship with money is a perfect, clean mirror of your beliefs about yourself in the world. When you're in a relationship with another person, yeah, gunk is coming to the surface, but part of it's your gunk and part of it's their gunk, and they're projecting it on you and you're projecting it on them. But when you work with money, money is not another person. They're not bringing their gunk to the table. They're only perfectly reflecting you and your insecurities and your fears and your beliefs and your self-doubts. So that's why I love working with money, because even though, yeah, we're working with money so you can step into abundance and feel more financially free and safe and do the work you love, really what we're doing is like the deepest level of personal growth and transformation that you could possibly do.
Yeah, it makes that phrase, your net worth equals your self-worth, just ring that much more true, right? At least
Exactly.
to me. Well, let's see. Before we wrap up, I want to make sure that people know how to connect with you in the Abundance Portal, get involved in the Abundance Portal if they want to.
Yeah, so there's lots of different ways that you can connect with me. One is I'm very active on Instagram. If you'd like to continue the conversation there, you can please feel free to follow me, reach out. I'd love to chat. So you can follow me on Instagram at @thebizhippie. You can also learn more about the work that I do in Empowered Abundance by going to my website, thebizhippie.com/abundance. If this conversation really sparked something in you and you want to talk more about your relationship with money and the fastest way to transform that so that you can step into abundance, I highly recommend you book a consult. This is where we have a deep dive conversation to go deeper and really talk about how you can make abundance your reality and transform your relationship with money from the inside out. So I do consults. Those are highly, highly valuable. And I also have my own podcast as well. So if you want to go deeper into these topics and concepts, you can feel free to check out my podcast, which is the Empowered and Abundant podcast. And that's also on my website as well, thebizhippie.com/podcast.
Man, that's awesome. And everybody listening needs to sign up because you're fixing what's probably, I would think, the biggest problem in our country right now.
Yeah, exactly.
So thank you so much for being here. This is very eye-opening, inspiring. Is there one message that we haven't talked about that you would love to leave like with the audience or with somebody who's feeling stuck right now?
Yeah, absolutely. And that is that, especially around money, you actually are in control. It's often that we can feel like I'm not in control of my life. I'm not in control of my money or my financial situation. This is just the way it is. I can't really do anything about it. But the truth is, you are the one in control of your money. You're also the one in control of your life. And so if you want to live a different life, if you want to pursue a dream, if you want to do something different, if you want to feel more free, if you want to feel more abundant, it is 100% in your control and it is 100% possible. And I just need to make sure that you understand and know that because it is so true.
Man, thank you so much for that. It is so true. And I can't wait to see how the, let's see, I keep calling it the abundance portal, but it's the
Empowered Abundance.
Empowered Abundance was your signature program. I can't wait to see how this moves forward in the next 5 years and see how many more people you impact.
Yes, thank you. I love it. And it's so cool because I work with people all over the world too. So it's not just, it's like a global impact that we're all making.
Right. Scarlett, thank you so much for your time, your most valuable commodity. I appreciate you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me on your show. This was super fun.
Thanks. Have a great day.
Thank you for tuning into the Pulverizing the Patterns podcast, where Jed Brotherson takes you on a journey to confront the roots of your discontent and emerge significant. Remember to visit our website at www.pulverizingthepatterns.com and enjoy even more great episodes like this one. Again, while you're here, subscribe to us via your favorite network. We look forward to seeing you next time on the Pulverizing the Patterns podcast.